Every Formula One circuit out there has its own distinct personality. Take Monaco, for example. With those incredibly tight, unforgiving barriers, it absolutely rewards precision. It's a track where literally a few millimeters can be the difference between ultimate glory and ending your day in the wall.
Then you've got Monza, right? The temple of speed. This place strips away the downforce and just straight up rewards raw bravery. You have to completely trust the car as you hurl it into those chicanes at absolutely insane speeds.
But then there's Silverstone, and Silverstone demands commitment. Built on the grounds of a former Royal Air Force airfield, this is the historic birthplace of the Formula One World Championship. It's a place where legends have been crowned, where dreams have been shattered, and where every single July, thousands of fans arrive believing they're about to witness something truly unforgettable. And, well, this year, they actually did.
Okay, let's dive into this explainer. We're looking at a weekend that perfectly captures our theme, Silverstone, where heroes rise, champions fall, and the future arrives. Going into this race, the stakes were just incredibly high. Max Verstappen arrived needing momentum. Lewis Hamilton returned to the circuit that has defined his entire career. Charles Leclerc was desperately searching for answers. Meanwhile, a teenager named Kimi Antonelli carried expectations way beyond his years. And Audi, they simply wanted proof they were moving in the right direction.
Section 1. The Theater of Silverstone, a record-breaking weekend.
Just think about this number for a second. 564,000. That is the staggering number of fans who packed into the circuit. I mean, seeing a record-breaking figure like that instantly validates the ridiculously high stakes of this specific race. You could practically feel the energy in the air before a single engine even fired up.
That massive turnout actually makes this the biggest Formula One event ever held anywhere. But what made the atmosphere so uniquely electric was the home turf representation. For the first time in 30 years, 5 British drivers lined up on the grid. So having 5 home heroes to cheer for over 4 packed days, the expectations from that crowd were literally through the roof.
Section 2. Heartbreak for 2 generations. Kimi and Max face disaster. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it sets up the character arcs of our key players.
During the sprint race, we were treated to a phenomenal duel that beautifully showcased the generations currently colliding in F1. On one hand, you have 19-year-old Kimi Antonelli, a rising Mercedes star, carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. And battling him wheel to wheel, 41-year-old Ferrari veteran Lewis Hamilton. That is a remarkable 22-year age gap, fighting right at the front of the pack.
But Sunday dealt Antonelli a really cruel hand. On lap 41, his front left wheel shield just detached. That mechanical failure completely robbed the teenager of a potential victory, forcing him into 2 extra pit stops and resulting in a pretty devastating P15 finish. But honestly, even in the middle of a mechanical nightmare, this rookie showed us exactly why everyone is saying he's the future of the sport.
Meanwhile, for the last few seasons, retirement has become a very unfamiliar feeling for Max Verstappen. But at Silverstone, it returned. Speaking about the incident, Max said, "It was like Austria. A different fault, let's say, but the same outcome. Super dangerous." Just let that breathe for a second. You can really hear the deep emotional weight and frustration of him enduring yet another sudden, all-too-familiar DNF.
So what exactly was he referring to? Going into the incredibly high-speed Stowe corner with just 6 laps left, his RB22 rear wing completely failed to close. That malfunction instantly stripped away his downforce and sent him spinning helplessly into the gravel. For a 4-time champion locked in a tightening title fight, a sudden technical failure like this carries some severe championship implications.
Section 3. The Home Hero's Frustration. Lewis Hamilton at Silverstone.
There are home races, and then there is Lewis Hamilton at Silverstone. The grandstands weren't simply cheering for a driver. They were willing a piece of British sporting history to continue. But unfortunately, his race was defined by tactical regret. Hamilton made his clear frustration known, saying, "If they told me you're stopping and you're losing position, I wouldn't have done it." It really highlighted a massive disconnect with Ferrari's late strategic call.
It was just one of those chaotic afternoons where nothing seemed to go right. He got slapped with a 5-second penalty for a rare jump start, had a post-race investigation for a yellow flag infringement, and was wrestling a car that he admitted was bad from the get-go. Yet despite all of those errors and penalties, the legend still managed to drag that car to a P3 podium finish. I mean, that is just pure resilience.
Section 4. Triumph and quiet milestones. Ferrari and Audi find success. You know, for Ferrari recently, the questions have been becoming much louder than the answers. But Charles Leclerc finally found a spark. After a brilliant drive to victory, his engineer came on the radio and said, "Tough times don't last forever. Only the strong survive." The sheer emotional relief in Leclerc's response after finally claiming that long-awaited victory and rediscovering the feeling in his car, it was incredible. Progress really does take many forms.
Now, obviously, Formula One naturally celebrates its race winners. But inside every single factory along the grid, the engineers know that progress often begins with something much, much smaller, like the number 4. Those 4 crucial points belong to Gabriel Bortoleto and the Audi team, marking their first point since Melbourne. For an underdog building a massive new project, a single P8 finish is celebrated like an absolute triumph. It gives them the tangible proof they desperately needed to show that their project is finally moving forward. Section 5. The safety car controversy, the chaotic end to the British GP. Up until this point, the race had a certain rhythm. Then, everything changed.
So the crucial point is understanding exactly what happened at the climax of this race. Let's break down the FIA regulations impartially, step by step. Step 1. Max crashes with 6 laps to go. Step 2. The safety car is deployed. Step 3. Lacked cars unlap themselves. And Step 4. Article B5.13.5 states that 1 full lap must then be completed under the safety car. In this specific scenario, that mandatory lap was literally the final lap of the Grand Prix.
The officials followed the rulebook to the letter. So why was there so much confusion? Well, it came down to a simple software error. The message "safety car" in this lap was erroneously displayed to the entire world. Everyone watching thought we were getting a dramatic final lap shootout. Instead, a digital glitch completely robbed those 564,000 fans of a racing finish, sparking a massive debate across the paddock.
Section 6. Headlines after the flag. The lasting impacts of Silverstone. And this brilliantly illustrates our summary of the weekend's narrative.
Let's rapidly fire through the key takeaways you need to remember. Winner of the weekend, Charles Leclerc and Ferrari for pulling themselves out of a slump. Loser of the weekend, Red Bull's reliability. That rear wing failure leaves them facing massive questions. The moment to remember, definitely that safety car software error that had the whole world holding its breath for a restart that legally couldn't happen. And what to watch next? The Belgian Grand Prix, where these tightening championship storylines are going to continue.
Silverstone gave us everything Formula One promises: triumph, frustration, debate, and hope. One champion stumbled. One legend reminded us why he still matters. A rookie announced himself to the world, and an underdog celebrated 4 points like a world title. Because F1 has never simply been about winning races. It's about the moments that change seasons and define careers. So I'll leave you with this provocative thought. Does Silverstone prove that absolutely no amount of F1 engineering can account for human emotion and software chaos? Think about that before we head to Belgium. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.